Hey there, spooky friends. This is Sam Jam Effects coming at you with another episode of a spooky creature mask. This is going to be a wolf antler inspired mask for a friend of mine using the following materials that we've been using in pretty much all of the mask tutorials. Now, using the non-hardening, non-drying clay, Palistilina, I'm using a face cast and sculpting out the general shape, making it kind of look like a duck bill with big eyebrows. Now I wish at the end of this sculpt I had made the snout area more thin instead of being so wide, and also made the eye sockets a little bit more angular, but if you screw up, don't worry, you can always make another one, and that's what I plan to do. Anyway, there's not much I can give you for technique in this other than rolling the clay in your hands into long, thin sausage-like strips or little tiny balls are gonna be the easiest way to work with this material. Yes, little balls and sausages. Moving on from that, I did add teeth. However, I did not use the rigid wrap strips on top of the teeth. Going in with the rigid wrap and warm water, you're going to soak each plaster bandage in the water and then wring it out the excess water, placing it onto the sculpt and smoothing it out really finely. Make sure it's all pretty smooth. You're going to want about 3 to 4 layers of this rigid wrap, and I'm using small 2-inch by 1-inch strips, nothing really bigger than that. You're going to want to wait 24 hours when you're done with the rigid wrap. Otherwise, when you pop the rigid wrap off of the clay, it will break. And it's very fragile. So be careful. If you're on the younger side, don't use a knife. I'm using a butter knife here to go in and dig out a little bit of the clay so I can get some leverage to pop it off. Obviously, you're going to want to take any of the clay that came off with the mask out of it. We're going to clean it up a little bit and then do some spot concealing for the mask itself around the outer perimeter of the mask and around the eye socket areas to just reinforce those areas so that they're more sturdy. After getting all of the edges around the eyes and the perimeter of the mask, you can just let it dry for about 2 hours or even a little less. Add a coat of Mod Podge to it, and then wait another hour, and then you can start painting. Now, I went with the similar technique that I used on the Harry Potter Death Eater skull mask. I did a wash with brown tones and dry brushed color onto the mask. This adds a little bit more dimension and it soaks into the rigid wrap, making it look more distressed and older. I just love how it seeps into all of the cracks and crevices and everything like that. But to each his own with the painting. I just like doing acrylic paints with a little bit of water mixed in so that it's more of a wash. And you can always build color up, so don't be afraid to start with just a little bit, and then you can go in more heavy-handed later. motherfucking wolf mask is supposed to have antlers, deer antlers on it. And boy, did I fucking struggle with this. I tried to create the horns, antlers, out of model magic. They did not turn out well. Only because before they were able to set for the full 24 to 48 hours, they were in transit in my purse on the way home and they got squished. So I had to remake them, and on the second go around, I used wire underneath the model magic itself. So I laid down the model magic on a flat surface, put down wire, and then molded the antlers around the wire, which I will film a follow-up video for, and a video of me anchoring them to the mask in case you did want this wolf deer antler hybrid mask. But if you just want this mask, then you're done, you're complete, you have a badass mask. Just put some string on it and wear that shit out. Thank you guys so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. If you haven't already, you probably should, and I'm disappointed that you haven't. Just do it already. Also, check out my other social media at SamJamFX. And as usual, stay motherfucking spooky, friends.